art is actually like brain gym. And it's such a crazy, a wonderful world that opens up when you do that. So it's been part of my passion to take people slowly and by the hand and actually show them that.
When you make a piece, it becomes almost commodified. It is really interesting to think about who gets to enjoy not only the aesthetic values, but the thinking that goes into the art-making process as well. In the world that we're living in now, what does it mean to be curious about the world in an empathetic and kind and generous way?
I'm Elana Brundyn, and art has been my life. I studied law, but then knew I was not going to ever be a lawyer. My passion became African studies and sociology, which, if I look at it today, is what informs my arts kind of passion as well. You know, the continent, understanding the dynamics of what's going on. And that's when I also knew that was what I wanted to do, learn more about. Early on, knew that there was something interesting in the art world. I started collecting already when I was at the University of Stellenbosch. I waitressed in Stellenbosch, saved up my money and bought little art pieces to frame the artworks. We are in the atrium, in the heart of Zuid-Smoker. When the Waterfront approached me to be part of Zuid-Smoker and the development of the museum and the whole construction of that, it was, for me, unbelievable, because it was the moment where the African Renaissance became, you know, a proper symbol, where we could see talent, and it's a platform for this talent. It actually not only South African, it actually belongs to the continent. And I think what was amazing at that time was the fact that I was always this one that was kind of a bridge builder between the different players. I wanted to go back into that role where I didn't have just one hat. I could actually work between the different role players, which I love. I love being where I can actually really come and actually contribute.
I have uranium lights, UV lights if you want to. I'm Stephané Conradie. I am a lecturer in print media, but I'm also a practicing artist, and I mostly deal with identity and what it looks like in a post-colonial society. So you're currently in my office that doubles up as a studio as well. It was quite a surprise. I wasn't expecting it, because I guess I'm like, don't think of myself as having such an influence. At the moment, it's more daunting now because you have to come up with this kind of like, I guess, a magnus opus of like thinking about, oh, this is the exhibition that you putting out as a result of winning this award. So I guess it was affirming, but now at the moment it's quite scary. I grew up in Windhoek, Namibia for the first 7 years of my life, and I see those as very formative years. So I studied at Stellenbosch University. I was acutely aware of my skin color. of the fact that I was what is termed mixed race. I did my master's in art education, looking at how civil society informs education, specifically arts education, thinking about social justice and decolonization in education. And it's really important for me to be an educator because I love to learn myself, and I feel like I can't keep all the kind of experimentation and the intrigue and all the curiosities that I have for myself to myself.
We are at Boschendal in the old manor house, which we converted into an art gallery. It's got incredible experiences on the farm, which I think is very, very healthy. One of the things I've learned over time being in the museum world, museum director, sometimes the museum construct is a barrier. And with Boschendal, they almost discover the high quality exhibitions in the manor house. Out of having all these barriers of entry, the construct of the museum, the admission tickets, it's an easier way for art to have its power. I very much believe in the educational value of the arts. And there's an incredible institution called the Lalela Projects. It does the aftercare program. And they take these students and give them art history and also practical classes. Simpiwe Bende is a very interesting artist. And Simpiwe came through Lalela, he graduated, and now he is doing these incredible works. And you can see the value of what that program has done for these kids. Every single child that's been on the Lalela program has finished trick, which is an unbelievable track record. Education is always going to be a very big key, and art is all about deep learning of a subject. And if you are prepared to do the work, if you are prepared to grab some of the concepts, artists will take you and the whole world will open up for you through them.
My process obviously starts with thinking about objects that I was surrounded with as a child. In my printmaking, I always started off with collage because you can sort of decontextualize and recontextualize it through collage. So it feels like a very kind of fluid process. More than ever now, there are artists that look like the majority of the country. I think that it brings a more diverse student body into our universities. And I was walking through the campus and I thought, wow, I spent such formative years of my life here because I was undergraduate, I did my PhD there, and I even taught there for about 3.5 years. Having been there for so long, I also saw transformation taking place in that environment. So I'm always grateful for the education I received there.
I love Stellenbosch. I love going back and just walking the streets of Stellenbosch, and it takes you back to that moment where it was certain key moments that made you understand the world in a better way and why it's important to learn, to study, to contribute, to have purpose. And Stellenbosch was that moment for me. You know, it made me want to be a better person and trying to contribute to wherever I am and in what sense I am. So very proud of being a Matie.